There's some questions here, real quick. Bro, greetings from Venezuela. I am truly grateful to you. I have learned so much, Master. Hey, I appreciate the compliment. Thank you. Shout out to you. Keep going. I've been a follower of his since 2015. Oh, wow, that's a long time. That's literally over 10 years. That's 11 years, actually. What's your favorite video? Or what's the best thing you've seen from me? All right, we have another question. Hi, Straten. I love your improvisation. I wanted to ask you something. Could you show the string height? Do you have any fret buzz on the guitar? A huge hug, a big hug from Argentina. Hey, shout out to you. Of course, check it out. The action is pretty low. It's not high at all. It's actually really low. I don't like a lot of high action on my guitar. I like it really low, so everything I can play is just immediate, like the response is. That guitar is perfect. I agree. It's so beautiful to look at. It's so amazing. I mean, oh my gosh, look at that top. Just, it's like a piece of art. It's almost so nice that you feel ashamed to play it. Not really, but not really. It's just a beautiful instrument, man. Check out this. These are cool. These are cool ninth arpeggios. Are you running 10s? No, I'm running 8s. Thinking about going down to 7s. I saw Paul Gilbert said he's using 7s these days and it sounded pretty cool to try out. I'm not joking either. Do you do your own setups on your guitars? No, I do not. Unfortunately, I'm not gifted at setting up guitars. And basically, I don't know anything about that. Tune real quick. Let me try that again. That's a really cool sequence. It's cool because you're getting the extra. My favorite video is the one where you play a light colored Telecaster showing some licks to Paul Gilbert. Really? I don't even know what you're talking about. I'd have to relook at what you're talking about. A light colored Telecaster. Well, I know what guitar you're talking about. I should know what you're talking about at least. I'm thinking it's the Seafoam green one, but correct me if I'm wrong. Who takes care of them for you, the setups? I actually have my dad take care of them for me. He's like a master guitar tech, so he does a way better job than I could. So he gets the action insanely low. And he said he's throwing his guitar away. Nah, don't do that, man. You got so much to learn, man, before you throw away your guitar. Let's try that in a different key. That was a cool sequence. Actually, how would that go? There you go. Someone said, what guitar is this brand model? This is a Kiesel guitar right here. I'm a Kiesel Guitars artist, so all the guitars you see on my videos since 2021 are always Kiesels. I have learned to do everything that doesn't include Floyd Roses myself, and that's mostly because my Floyd guitars are too expensive for me to mess up. LOL. Yeah, Floyd Rose, that's another thing to, talk about. I mean, Floyd Rose guitars, I'm not a big fan of Floyd Rose guitars. I don't think they're very comfortable on the right hand for like the way my picking technique is. It's kind of difficult. I don't like guitars that dig into your right hand in any way. And I'm a Godot bridge fan. That would be my favorite bridge out of any other bridge, is a Godot bridge, because there's like no discomfort at all. That's why I go with Godot on everything. I also like the Kiesel hip shot trim. That's good too. It's probably even a little bit better for like vibrato. You know what I mean? It's better for vibrato, but as far as yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind that either. I mean, I have a few guitars with the hip shot. I don't know. I think I might prefer the Godot. I'd have to A and B them, but they both are equally as good as each other in my opinion. About the same. Haha, it's a video where he celebrates reaching 1,000 subscribers. It's called 2015 Update. Oh, wow. That is really, really an old, long time ago. old video a long time ago. Oh my gosh. I know what you're talking about now. I was playing the seafoam green guitar, the Telecaster. That was like a neoclassical lick, I believe. Oh, I missed a question. Let me look at that real quick. Your first hybrid picking lick, how to train to incorporate in playing fast. I mean, I don't really remember my first hybrid picking lick. Probably something to do with this would probably be my first choice to recommend. Maybe something like arpeggios, like, or so like 2-string arpeggios. That kind of thing. 2-string arpeggios would definitely be a first choice. If you want, you could even sweep through that with hybrid picking too, by changing the pattern up a little bit, by doing something more like. Thanks to you, I know how to do sweep picking, and I show your videos to many friends. Oh, that's great. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Thanks for spreading the word. But yeah, that's a technique that I would use right there. Which is a, pretty fairly straightforward way of using a little bit of sweeping and hybrid picking. You could even add more notes on the high E string if you want. You can do this. I also wanted to mention to you guys that I have been uploading lessons on my Patreon consistently under the $5 shredder tier. So if you want to check out the link in the description for lessons on my Patreon, you should check it out, because I've been consistently uploading lessons there. Like literally right now, on average, I'm doing 2 a week. So I might even upload more than that, and I'm working on some more tabs and lessons to upload onto Patreon. So check that out. The link is in the description of this live stream. So that's pretty cool. Missed a couple comments. Honestly, I haven't met another guitarist as complete and technically meticulous as you. Thank you for so much knowledge. I really appreciate that. Seriously, thank you for the compliments. That's great to hear. I really appreciate it. I don't know how true that is, but I do appreciate it. Thank you. And yeah, let's do some string skipping stuff. I've been really working on some inside picking here and there. So let's do some inside picking string skipping stuff. I'm thinking about doing a lesson for some string skipping stuff on Patreon pretty soon as well. So check this out. This is pretty cool. This would be like a kind of Paul Gilbert-esque lick. So let me try it. It's really hard to pick every note once you start really getting across the strings like in this way. It's really hard. So let's see what I can do. Let's see what I can do. Ugh, a little sloppy. Let me try that again. I can do better than that. This tone is so good. Such a good tone. Sounds good. Nice sweeps. Appreciate it. Thank you. Sweeps. Gotta sweep, you know what I mean? Just wonderful playing as always. I appreciate that. Thank you. Really do appreciate it. Thank you guys. Man, this tone is so good. Let's talk about movies again, like the last time. Any good movies? Any good movies you should recommend? Let's hear them. Excuse my bad English. Haha. No, you're good. It sounds fine to me. But could you explain those sweep picking techniques you do with 6 strings exercises, please? I will go into that, but you got just sweep bar shapes. A lot of it is just bar shapes. Do you ever use jazz 3 picks? I never use jazz 3 picks anymore. I only use these picks right here. Right here. Dunlop 1.0. What's it called? Flow picks. Dunlop flow picks. Those are my new favorite. I've been using these for quite a while now. Big fan, big fan. Could you please give me some Phrygian dominant or harmonic minor scales that I could improve / practice? I love the scales. I love the scales. I mean, just you could just do anything. Let's say you wanted to be playing an E Phrygian dominant. You could play this shape. This is always good. It's nice because you can do a E7 chord as your drone. Always a good place to start. And then you could do this scale right here. Just practice this 3 notes per string. Pick any pattern you really want. I mean, you could even do this kind of pattern. Or just go straight through the scale. I mean, anything you want. Or you could even practice alternate picking. I mean, that's fine too. You can go. But economy picking is going to be a little easier, I think. One thing I like to do when I practice 3 notes per string scales, I'll play one scale and then I'll descend down the next position. So I'll go something along the lines of. I like the melodic minor scale a lot as well. Basically, it's a major scale with a flat 3rd degree. I like that scale perhaps even more than harmonic minor, but I mean, it's all about preference at the end of the day. That'll sound something like. It's a similar sound, sort of, but not exactly. It's like if you know kind of thing, but it's a similar sound, and they react to major chords quite nicely, or dominant 7th chords quite in a similar way. It's a cool chord progression right there. I like that. all 6-string arpeggios, by the way. I'll try at least that way. Pretty cool chord progression. Got it. Nice. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Do you no longer use Dav on nylon? I haven't used that guitar pick in a very long time, so no, I don't use that. Those were pretty cool at the time, but I don't like nylon material that much, but that may change when I try the nylon flows. But yeah, I don't like Jazz 3 shape at all. I like something slightly more to the shape of a flow pick. That's pretty much what works better for me nowadays due to the way I pick. So for the way my picking technique has evolved throughout the years, I prefer something that, you know, has this shape for a lot of reasons. A lot of reasons has to do with hybrid picking. Sometimes the pick will dig into your finger in a unideal way. So for hybrid picking, I prefer this pick, or just in general. For a while, I used the Dunlop Alltech Sharp 1.0s. Those were my go-to for at least 10 years, and I don't use those anymore. I switch. But every once in a while, I'll use these. These are probably a little bit better for shredding. You can get a faster pick attack. Well, I wouldn't say pick attack, because I don't feel the need to pick as hard with these, but you get a, I don't know, it's slightly more effortless with these picks right here. This is the Dunlop Big Stubby 3.0, but the 2.0s are pretty good too. Like, you just can pick through anything really easily. Like economy picking, especially. Dunlop makes the best pick. I would agree with that. And I've used pretty much every brand you can think of. See, you just get a really smooth pick attack. But there is a chirp if you're not careful, especially with 8s. So that's the reason why I typically don't use these, and I don't really care for them for rhythm metal playing. So I overall will pick these 9 times out of 10, but these are very good for just like straight up, you know, picking technique. Dunlop 3mm prime tone are decent. I don't know if I've ever tried that guitar pick, but you know, that's worth checking out for sure. Thanks for the recommendation. Do you ever have fretting thumb fatigue? I'm a bit older than you, but I can't keep my thumb relaxed. You know, I can't say that's an issue I have really ran into that much in my life, but I do try to keep as light of a touch as possible. So there's that. They're rounded tip, so no chirp. Oh, if they're a round tip, that wouldn't work for me because I need a sharper tone for my picking style and picking technique. For like alternate picking, so yeah, I don't like dull picks at all. It's probably one of my least favorite things about a guitar pick is something being dull at the tip of the pick. So that would definitely not work for me. All right. I've been on Petrucci flow for like 2 years now. Tried jazz for a week, maybe. It's too small. How do people do it? Yeah, I don't know. If I were to use a jazz 3-pick, it would have to be XL. I've used, I think, the John Petrucci flow picks at NAMM in 2020. I think that was the last time, though, was NAMM 2020. I tried the Petrucci flow. I remember it being really good. Actually, I should try those again. You get that real nice, smooth, buttery feel. But what millimeter are those? Aren't those like thicker? Those are like 2.0 instead of 1.0 because they might chirp, right? Because I've even tried the Petrucci Jazz 3s too. Actually, I used those for a while because they reminded me of blue chip picks. Who remembers those? Blue chip picks are like expensive, but I've lost every single one, so I stopped buying them because they're too expensive to be losing $30 picks every 5 minutes. So there's that. I think mine are 1.5 millimeter. Oh, okay. Well, I would actually consider those. I'll check those out. Do you still have Les Paul's signature? Do you still have your signature Buckethead Les Paul? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I still have that guitar. That used to be my guitar I used to use for a long time. I've used that guitar for a long time, but I haven't pulled it out in quite a few years. It's pretty big. It's a baritone guitar, but they're quite unique. They do have a big sound, but I'm more of a Strat guy. Well, this is a Kiesel Delos. I'm a Kiesel guitar artist, but you know, a Strat style guitar. That's what the guitar I like, you know, because it's more comfortable. I can't really play the same way on other guitars. I'm kind of needing this sort of feel on my instruments because there's really no other guitar that's comfortable for me. Pretty tough shape. I really actually think these economy picking licks are pretty tough. A lot harder than just sweeping straight through. This requires a little bit more of a picking angle shift. I think I'm going to do a lesson on these of these arpeggios on Patreon soon. But there's a cool sequence I was working on. I'll just show you sort of like one of the shapes. Really a lot easier to ascend these than ascend. We could do a dominant 7 shape. Like I said, it's way harder to ascend. I could really just blow through them or blast through them on the ascending shape or the descending. I don't know why, but I think it has to do with the way I'm holding the pick in that certain direction. But it's a 5-note pattern. That's why you can economy pick them. Some of these shapes are very unpleasant though on the left hand. But let me try another one. Maybe up here is a little easier. That's not bad, I think. Yeah, those are kind of tough. I keep doing this with my left hand. I should be doing it on my right hand. When you're racing across the strings on a 6-string, 3 notes per string run, do you alternate pick or economy pick? Well, I'm capable of doing whatever, whenever. So it just depends on what sound I'm looking for. So, yeah, either one works. I could show you an example of either one. So let's play an E major scale. This would be alternate picking. This would be economy picking. Usually I can get a little bit more speed with economy picking, of course, because you know, I think that you can reduce the motion a little bit where you can increase the speed, and it's a little bit more ergonomic, economic, you know what I mean? And you're not using as much effort, but you do sometimes sacrifice tone a little. I shouldn't say sacrifice tone. It's just a different tone. Economy sounds smoother. Alternate sounds a little bit more, has a nicer pick attack, unless you dig into the strings with economy, which would sound like. So you can get that sort of attack with economy, which that was economy, and it will mimic the sound of alternate. Like, let me do this with alternate now. Now with economy again, with the pick attack. But you can also achieve a smoother sound with economy like this. So it's all about the amount of pressure you apply to the string, I suppose. And you basically kind of have to control the tension within your right hand to achieve the sound you sort of want. So I do use a lot of alternate picking when it comes to string skipping, and I use a lot more economy picking when it comes to basically anything else. But I will use alternate picking occasionally with 3 notes per string if I have, the desire to use alternate picking, which is, every once in a while. It's kind of cool to, just hear the sound of the pick, like. But then sometimes I'll use a combination of sweep picking and hybrid picking with that as well, which would be called Swiber picking. So there's a various amount of techniques that I use. I just use every technique that I want, basically, because I've practiced them all to the point where I can use whatever I want whenever I want. So I don't really worry about that kind of stuff anymore. Whatever the the lick calls for or the song calls for, etc. That's what I do. That's what I do. And if you are lucky enough to get good at both, you can, because like I said, it's actually really hard to be good at both because your muscle memory wants to go in one direction. It doesn't want to be good at all of these techniques. It kind of wants to be good at just one of these techniques, either economy or alternate picking. And and I actually practiced economy picking by accident when I first started playing those 3 notes per string scales because it made more sense to me just to be playing down, up, down. But I never connected the dots on the descending way of going up, down, up until maybe a few years after that. That's right when I first started playing, though. I was already doing economy. But then I watched a Paul Gilbert video, and he basically said that you're supposed to do alternate picking, nothing but down, up, down, up. So I ended up becoming pretty good at both. And I kind of stopped economy even for a while at that point. But I am good at both now and have been for quite a long time. So it's not really much of a concern for me at this point. I just, whatever I feel like. Love your playing, man. If you had to learn the theory you know again, what would you learn first? I mean, I don't think it's like a matter of what would I learn first. I would just maybe try to learn it faster. So I wasn't really good at theory the way I am now. Back in the early days, I just more was a shape-based player. I would learn everything from chords to scales, but I would learn every chord as in, extensions with your chords like dominant 7th chords, minor 7th chords, major 7th chords, etc. Because everyone kind of knows just basic chords like. But I would learn the extensions to them faster, like how they work in each position of the neck, because when I first learned all of that, I never really connected the dots. I just thought the extensions, I didn't even think of them as extensions. I just thought they were extra notes. So if you're having an arpeggio like this, G major, never really thought that much of it. I just thought this would be an extra note, F sharp, like this. Never thought much of it. I just was like, oh, here's a cool extra note. But I now realize, like many years later, well, I've known this for probably the better part of maybe the last 15 years, but that's a major 7 arpeggio. Back then, I just thought it was an extra note you could add, and I didn't really care or think about it that much. I just was like, oh, whatever, Intervals and chord construction is very important. Yes, that's important. So I would probably just have a better idea of what I'm playing a little faster and compartmentalize them in my brain in a more efficient manner versus having it be so random. Like I would like the sound of like playing a dominant 7th arpeggio, but I didn't know why I liked it. I didn't know that this was the difference between a minor 7 arpeggio, like by just changing the B to a C. I wouldn't have known things like that. Or I didn't know things like that. I just knew I liked the sound of it, and I didn't know why. Like, I wouldn't be able to connect the dots. I would try to connect the dots a little bit faster in that regard. But then again, you do kind of come up with cool stuff when you don't know it, but that's not really an excuse, a good enough excuse for me to, if I were to change, to not just understand it thoroughly right away. It took me a couple extra years to understand that stuff because I was more of a shape-based player. I just knew a bunch of scales, and even then I didn't know the names of the scales. Like when I was watching Frank Mbali, Mode's No More Mystery, actually it was quite a big mystery the first time I watched it. I was like, oh wow, this is kind of crazy. But I was only playing for a couple years at the point, so like I said, I was a shape-based player, so learning all this stuff in that way, like I knew scales, but I didn't know them well enough where I could be confident enough in, like, teaching them or Or just on the spot, just say, oh, here's a Mixolydian scale. I'm a lot better at that now. So, do you recommend practicing by covering songs? Yeah, whatever's fun for you. If that's fun to you, then do that. Sure. Thank you, man. I know almost no theory. I know how to play in a key, but past minor pentatonic, I'm screwed. Looking to change that this year. That's cool. That's cool. Gambali gang represent. Yeah, Gambali is amazing. Gambali is amazing. If anyone's interested in guitar lessons with me, by the way, check out my Patreon. It's linked in the description of this live stream. I've been uploading literally almost 2 lessons per week. I'm about to upload another lesson really soon. And it's only $5 a month, and you're gonna get tabs to a lot of my videos and regular, content. It's gonna be a place where I upload a lot of lesson material. So it's only $5 a month. Check it out. You can join as a free member if you want. I might be uploading some stuff under the free member tier, but as of now, all content is under the $5 tier for all guitar lessons and tabs to my videos. Oh, is that McRockland in the house? What's up, dude? You know what I'm running through right now? I'm running through Nunchuck. Using the Fire preset right now. Super good tone. I've been actually using a lot of Lumos lately, and I kind of forgot about Nunchuck for a while, and then I went back to Nunchuck. I was like, oh dang, this is also really good. Yeah, good to see you too, man. Long time no talk. How about a Zoom lesson? Yeah, check out the email that's linked in the description. You can contact me for Zoom lessons if you're interested in that. 2 of my favorite plugins, Nunchuck and Lumos. Yeah, those are my favorite too. That's what I like from the Polychrome line. They sound really good. And of course, your plugin's really good. Actually, specifically, I really like your plugin for the cleans. So smooth, man. Hey, I really appreciate that, dude. Seriously, man. Good to talk to you. I feel like it's been a while since I talked to you, man. Your plugin sounds super great, man. Does this tone belong to Nunchuck? Yeah, literally, it's just a preset that someone from the Polychrome DSP team created when it came out. It's been on here for a long time. It's called Fire in all caps. It's got the perfect delay timing, reverb, and overall I just tweak one thing. I just add that purple pedal and a little bit of boost on the amp, and you're pretty much in that really nice, like smooth liquid-like tone. Yeah, I have your sound on the Cortex. Thanks, it's killer, bro. Are you talking to me? I don't have a quad Cortex, so I've never actually created any sounds on that. Unless someone created a sound that is supposed to replicate mine. If they have, that's news to me. Using plugin now? Yeah, I'm using the Polychrome DSP Nunchuck plugin. It's a really good sound I'm getting right now. Really clear. How low do you set your action? Do you measure it all? I don't measure it. I don't set my action because I'm not the one who sets up my guitars, but I'll give you a kind of an idea of how low it is. It's very low. It's so low because when I play like the fast stuff or even not fast stuff, it's just a lot easier to play. And a lot of the things I play happen to be kind of technically demanding, so yeah, I don't really want something that's getting in my way. You know what I mean? It's just very irritating, when I pick up a guitar that's not mine, that's not set up the way I like it, because it's very annoying, so to speak. I was playing a guitar the other day that wasn't mine. I was like, oh my gosh, that's rough how you have your action set. And it's only a little bit higher than mine. I was like, man, I can't even play to the same degree that I normally play. It's even that much of a difference of action, like just a teeny bit higher. It makes a big difference for my playing because I have a smooth sweeping style to everything. And I need it to respond immediately. You know what I mean? It's got to respond immediately. No lag, no delay. Can you do more of the pedal tone stuff, please? Sure. Let's see. Let's pick a key. Dang, tab that. That sounds great. The pedal tone lick? Well, I could tab that and throw it up on Patreon. I might do that. I actually had an idea to do a pedal tone lesson that's similar to that on Patreon. You guys should definitely sign up for Patreon because there's going to be a lot more of lessons on there than anywhere else. So that's where I'm going to spend all my time doing lessons. So sign up for Patreon. Patreon.com/StratenMarshall, or just check out the description of this live stream, and the link will be right there. Or if you want one-on-one Zoom lessons, contact the email. Man, I love doing that with the extra tap on the arpeggio. It always sounds cool. Could you give some tips how to get alternate picking to crazy speed? Would you use speed bursts? I would use speed bursts for alternate picking, yeah. So if you have like maybe 3 different tempos, you could go like an ascending sixes line, sort of like. Actually, I would recommend this lick with inside picking. I don't know why I'm using outside picking. If you want to get like insane speed, you know, like really good speed. That kind of thing. Or if you're even playing some of the string skipping, you could do the speed burst thing. I keep doing outside picking. I don't know why. But if you wanted to do the speed burst, yeah, try 3 different tempos. Yeah, that's kind of tedious. It really is tedious to do the speed burst. It's boring, I must admit. Speed bursts are very, very, very boring, but I mean, they do help. They do help to get the control over all different tempos, because that's what we're after, right? Is control, not the opposite, you know? You need a control over what you're playing. But I will say something. I've never used speed bursts to actually develop my technique or anything for that matter. But they do work when I teach my students it. It's just I didn't need to do that because I've been playing. You know, I don't really know the reason why I didn't need it. I practiced, and I was more of along the lines of Sean Lane, and I listened to him. He said, play fast, play horrible, play sloppy, and then it'll clean up over time. That was my approach. So I'm being honest with you. I don't do speed bursts to practice. I don't. I just play fast, and it turns out good because that's what Sean Lane said. And, you know, I'm not going to disagree with Sean Lane, of course. So, but they do work. They do work. I do recommend it for students who don't want to use that approach, or they want to incrementally increase the metronome by 5 BPM per day or whatever. That does work. That does work. But I mean, that's not how I got my results, and that's just the truth, to be honest. I uploaded this on Patreon actually this is the first one I uploaded like a week ago. This was a lesson I did, and I posted the tabs for it. So let me see if I can play it. Who remembers that? I posted that on all my social media all my social media, you know, shorts. So shorts or reels, etc. And let me do that again. I didn't really think that was that clean, was it? Let's try it one more time. But I posted the tabs and an in-depth lesson on how you actually use the hybrid picking with sweeping. Because if you just sweep through it, I mean, it's going to be like, which is actually pretty good too. I'm not going to lie, but the hybrid picking is also a little bit less strenuous and also sounds more articulate in some ways. Can you do Paul Gilbert style? You switched to humbuckers permanently? No, I'm just using humbuckers right now because I feel like it. I have not switched to humbuckers. I still feel the same way as I always felt about humbuckers. I like them, but I like single coils a lot better. It's just for when you're playing with a lot of gain, there's less buzz. And when you're on a live stream, I don't have to be as conscious of making it not be as loud, you know, with the buzz. I'm just able to control the gain a little bit better with humbuckers. And when you're on a live stream, you don't hear that hiss as bad. But I do have a noise gate on, so. I showed Paul Gilbert a diminished string skipping arpeggio, and he used it on Racer X second heat album, very first song. Really? Really? He really did do that? That's crazy. Diminished arpeggio, was it these 3 notes per string? Or actually, he uses the string skipping version where it's like. Yeah, I went to GIT. Oh, that's super cool. Wow, that's amazing. Could you show us Buckethead's signature lick in slow-mo? That one lick in slow-mo, the one with alternate picking and legato? Why do you own so many Kiesels just like them? Well, I'm also signed to Kiesel guitars, and I play them because I love them. I wouldn't be a Kiesel guitars artist if I didn't love them, so. Nice. Are you doing hybrid for that too now? I use hybrid with sweeping for just about everything. I don't really have I use hybrid because it's so much easier. There's no point in alternate picking some of the things I play because it's just. So are we getting your EP before GTA 6? You know, I think so. I think we are getting the EP before GTA 6. Wow, you are a Kiesel artist? Cool. Yeah, man, I wouldn't be playing them if I didn't think they were amazing. They really are top-notch stuff. Can you show us your approach to a good vibrato? Thank you. Vibrato is important to me because I like a slow vibrato. Although I don't always express it. Sometimes I wish I would express my vibrato better in my videos and my live streams or whatever. Sometimes I'm focused too much on speed for the sake of the videos, just to display high levels of technique. Sometimes you do miss out on the vibrato where it's. So I like to delay it a little bit. Use a slower vibrato that's also quite wide. That's terrible. Ooh, that is a huge sound right there. It's a little faster than I like. Well, that was actually almost perfect, really. Yeah, and the low E, yeah, that vibrato is super good when you get that. Yeah, it's important to control vibrato. My vibrato is really, really good when I'm playing in standard with eights, or not in standard with eights, but half step with eights, half step down with eights. My vibrato gets really, really nice. Better than when it's in standard for sure. Because the strings are looser. Do you know any pedal steel licks? They could be cool to incorporate in metal stuff. I'm not super well versed in that style, to be honest. See, that would be a fast vibrato. That's actually a little too fast for my liking, but if you can control it well, I find my vibrato is faster sometimes when I expect the string's going to be a little bit too, let's say, tense. So if I think like up here, the string tension's going to be really, really more tension, a lot more tension, especially that D string right there. I sometimes go a little too fast when I anticipate the string tension to be a little too, heavy. So, and some areas of the neck are heavier than others, especially right here. So if you really pay attention to it, you can really get the vibrato you're kind of searching for. And the vibrato I'm searching for, like I said, is slow and wide, Know any cool new Hirajoshi licks? Not in particular, but I could pull out some ones that... Let's just try something. Let's see what we got. Why not play an E flat? I play D standard. Sounds awesome. I love D standard. And why not play E flat? I do play an E flat, actually. I got some of my guitars tuned to E flat right now. I'm in E standard right now because of teaching. Well, this guitar is in E standard for some of the videos I've been doing. I've been teaching for like Patreon and stuff. So I'm doing that for your guys' convenience. But realistically, yeah, I got guitars at E flat, and that's my favorite tuning probably. I do like E standard too. D standard is also cool. 1.5 steps down is also cool, which would be C sharp standard. That's about as low as I'll go. I really do like that sound though. It's great. It's fantastic. You should get the Jason Becker numbers guitar for teaching. Have you seen it? Oh, I've seen that. Yeah, that's a fantastic guitar. Shout out to Jason Becker, man. Such a legend. How long did it take for you to get down hybrid picking? Any good beginner exercises to work on it? How long did it take me to get down? I mean, not very long for basic hybrid picking. I never even tried to practice hybrid picking for the basic stuff. Like, we're talking like just normal hybrid picking, like... I never had to practice that. That was just kind of available to me already because, I don't know, it worked fine. I already talked about this actually earlier in the live, but yeah, that's an exercise you could do, just 2-string arpeggios. But for advanced hybrid picking, which would be called swibrid picking, I didn't practice that particularly in a way either. It just actually happened as a result one time when I was doing this sort of idea where you're playing, let's say we have like a G major 7 type arpeggio. That kind of, or maybe add 9. I was already kind of good at hybrid picking, just normal hybrid picking, but I just started adding little sweep strokes in between it because I didn't like the speed I was getting with economy picking. Like, I didn't like that speed. I like this speed, which is way faster and better sounding. So that was my introduction to the advanced hybrid picking. And that just sort of happened naturally. And that's just a lot better for that kind of idea, in my opinion, especially if you want to get really good speed, you know. But if you start getting into more advanced hybrid picking, when you start using all your fingers, you know, even for sweeping, like... just takes time. I don't know the exact time it takes to learn this stuff. Just the better idea or mindset is just start working on it now, so you are good at it now. You know, it's gonna take some time, I'm sure. All results vary. I'm thinking I can't economy pick well at all. Just if you have 24 frets, you can. If you have 24 frets, you can afford to down tune and not lose too much range. I can't economy pick well at all. Just did hybrid. It's way better. Well, that's what swibrid is, economy with hybrid, which is, you know, swibrid. That's the final way of mastering economy picking. Any tips on inside picking? Sir, I always hate having inside picking pattern inside a fast alternate picking run and often avoid it with a pull off or something. Yeah, you're gonna have to do some pick slanting. You're gonna have to do pick slanting. So if we have this kind of idea, gonna have to do some pick slanting, or especially if you're doing one of these kind of patterns. See how I gotta do all that wrist rotation? That is absolutely necessary if you're gonna be an alternate picker. So if you're not willing to go through that, then I suggest you just get into economy picking, which would be more like, you don't have to worry about pick slanting in all those different angles. You just gotta pick slant in one angle, which will save you a lot of time, because most people, it's very rare you see a lot of insanely talented alternate pickers. I mean, they're out there. There's actually a lot of them out there, but like, I'm talking about like insane level alternate picking, just those guys who can just really alternate pick well. Yeah, they're not that common as you would think. I'm talking alternate picking where you're, like you said, you were saying something about having to do pull-offs and all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, that will save you some of the pick slanting, but if you want to actually be able to alternate pick, you know, whatever, whenever, then yeah, you're gonna have to essentially do that pick slanting thing, or just economy pick, and just you can pick slant in whatever direction is worth your while. So like, it's actually a lot simpler. It really is. What gauge is best for shredding and pick size? I don't know. Okay, he said, what's the best way to... Okay, what gauge is best for shredding? Okay, picks or strings? For strings, it's going to be 8, in my opinion. And pick size, 1.0 Altex, or not, oh yeah, this is Altex Dunlop Flow. So 1.0 is for that, or 3.0 stubbies, or you could do 2.0 stubbies, that's fine too. It's gonna be good for shredding. These are good for economy picking, really good. And Swiber picking. Marshall Harrison uses these as well, the guy who invented Swiber picking, so these are good. I use these, I like these for most of everything, but I would be lying if I said these are not amazing for economy picking and just overall fast playing, hybrid picking, Swiber, whatever. Just gotta be careful of the chirp. Like, just be careful of that. If you can avoid that, then you're on to the right track. What action should action be as low as possible? Yes. If you want to be able to play the most craziest stuff, then yeah, you want the lowest action as possible. Anything that makes the guitar playing as easy as possible is what you should do. So 8-gauge strings, low as action as possible. What else? The right picks, stuff like this, things that aren't gonna make the guitar hard. Like, why are we trying to make the guitar hard with 10-gauge strings, high action? Like, what's the point of that? Does it sound better? I don't think so. I don't notice that much of a difference. Maybe for rhythm, you'll get a little bit more of a punch with the high action and the heavier strings, but if you must have that 1% extra in tone, then go ahead. I don't really care, but for me, it's not worth it. Just get the 8s, low action, etc. It's not worth the hassle of having to deal with all this, you know, all this extra stuff that's making the guitar more difficult. Unless you're strictly a rhythm player, of course. You know what I mean? If you're strictly rhythm, then yeah, go for it. But if you're trying to be like overall good with rhythm and lead, you got to make the guitar easy, especially if you want to be really good at guitar. If you want to be kind of half okay, then do those other things. Not saying that there isn't good guitar players who use that. Of course there is. But if you're struggling and your technique's not where it should be, then you need to be doing everything you can to make the guitar easier immediately rather than using all this heavy strings and high action out of ego, because that's what most of the time it is. I mean, I've heard so many people say they hear all these differences, which there may be some validity in that, but it's mostly ego, let's be honest. People say they use 10s, 11s, 12s, whatever. That's cool, but maybe they hear a sound. I don't know if I don't hear it. I'd be willing to bet most people don't hear it. You know what I mean? I see some players start slow and gradually get faster. Than I hear people say play as fast as possible. Which do you recommend? I was actually just talking about this. Play as fast as possible and then clean it up over time is what I did. But most people don't achieve results that way. So speed bursts, 3 different tempos is the idea. String gauge doesn't make much of a difference at all as far as... What do you mean? It doesn't make a difference as far as using heavy strings or light strings being easier to play? Because as far as heavy strings and vibrato, it makes a huge difference. Good day. I've been watching you for years as I was learning Buckethead style, but I wasn't subscribed on my new channel. Oh, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for joining and tuning into the live stream. It's awesome to see you here, dude. Yeah, we were talking about a bunch of Buckethead stuff earlier as far as patterns go and stuff. Do you have a published album of music I could listen to? I will be having a published album you could be listening to, but it's not going to be released until later this year. Expect a new single within maybe by the summer. Your precision is on par with Bucket. Man, I appreciate that, dude. Thank you. Oh, heavy strings don't make a difference. Make much of a difference for tone. Amp and pickups and pedals are way more important. Oh, of course. I totally agree with that. Totally agree. For the Buckethead guy, we'll play some more Buckethead style stuff. Let's try it. I would love to see you play Vinnie Moore in the blink of an eye. One of my faves. Doesn't have anyone who covers that on YouTube. Really nice melodies. I love Vinnie Moore. Vinnie Moore is amazing, man. String gauge does actually matter if you want to play in drop C and you have 9-gauge strings on your guitar. Well, that does. Well, that is true. If you're tuning your guitar down, that's a different story. But I was referring to in standard. Really amazing chops. However, these days I'm more into Bucket's more mellow soundscapes. Please check out Door 1, Cavernhouse, Cove, etc. All right, I'll check that out, man. I'll check it out. Squid. Only issue is missing the KFC hat. That's what makes him such a genius, being able to play every style. Yeah, Bucket's really awesome, man. He's really good. Your thoughts on pick tapping? Oh, I've never used pick tapping. I always preferred the sound of using the fingers because I don't know. I don't want to be putting a pick on my fretboard in that way. It seems like it'd be damaging your fretboard, and I don't think the tone is really something I really care to have anyway. I just rather just I don't do enough tapping anyway to really have that much of opinion, though, to be honest. So do whatever you like. My opinion really is irrelevant here because I don't use a lot of tapping. I don't even do tapping with string skipping that much. But the only tapping I do is when I'm playing arpeggios. I can definitely tell that I could definitely tell you that I wouldn't be using the pick tap for for that, you know what I mean? Like but yeah. That's an interesting question though. Pick tapping. I don't want to do it on this nice guitar. That's literally what's in the back of my head. It's like this guitar is really nice, and what am I gonna scratch the fretboard? There's got to be some damage, right? Or am I exaggerating? I mean, can't you just tap it in with your fingers? What's the difference? The pick belongs on this part of the strings, not this part. I know Joe Satriani uses it. Yeah, he definitely does use it. I've seen him use it. The only people I've ever seen it, actually, believe it or not, are some of my favorite guitar players. Him and Randy Rhoads. Randy Rhoads is one of my favorite guitar players, and Joe Satriani, and I know they both use it. I don't know why they did, but rest in peace to Randy Rhoads, man. What a legend. What a legend. But yeah, I'm not sure why he did that. He must have liked the way what the sound it produced. I guess that's, everyone's got their thing. Pick tapping can dent the string. See, I'm sure there's something that could be happening there. What pick do you use? I use a Dunlop 1.0 Flow. 1.0 Flow. And I've been using these for a while because they're really good for just about everything. Even just like good for that kind of, riffing, but also good for, lead playing. Hello from Russia. Hey, what's up? But for like leads and like real fast shredding, it's good too. Like Thanks, brother. Greetings from the Netherlands. Hey, shout out to you, man. Thanks for joining the live. Huge shout out to everyone. Really appreciate you guys joining the live today. Is this a good time to do live streams? I use a Dunlop 2mm max grip heavy pick. I don't know if I've ever heard of those. I'll have to check that out. I've been using these picks for like maybe the last 6 months to a year, and I really can't go back. I actually had to find a new pick due to the fact that I was getting injuries. Not injuries. That's a little exaggerated, but like I could feel the pick digging into my finger, you know, unideal way. Especially for like these kind of sweeping licks that use hybrid picking, which they would be called banjo rolls, so like I noticed that with the other picks, I could feel it in that part of my finger. For that, mainly for that kind of sweeping, not like all that other stuff. But and I was like, yeah, this is kind of gotta change. I can't be doing this because it's either a callus is gonna build or it's just gonna be uncomfortable while applying that kind of stuff. So you could also use these. You can avoid that with these, which is a Dunlop big stubby 3mm. It's not gonna happen. Do you pick soft or hard when economy picking? That was a question that I talked about earlier. A lot of these questions I literally mentioned earlier, but I'll do another example of it. So alternate picking, watch. Now if I wanted to achieve that same sound with economy picking, I could dig into the string a little harder. But if I wanted a softer sound, I could do this. So the answer is whatever I feel like. I can do all of those techniques if I want to. It's not a matter of do I do it this way or this way. It's just whatever I feel like I want it to sound like. If I want it to sound like alternate picking, yeah, then I'm going to use economy picking. I'm going to pick a little bit harder. And these picks are pretty good for that if you want to do that. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to achieve that same result. But if I want to not have that pick attack with economy, I can just do that too, whatever. Just kind of whatever I kind of feel like. That's what I do. Can you do the arpeggio tap and the end and the second you do the tap? I really don't. I don't know what you're talking about. Like this kind of arpeggios. Yeah, I'll do it like that. You know, I do tapping here, or I'll do it that kind of sound. That's pretty cool too. Yeah, I don't understand what you're referring to, but now that I got more people in here, I will repeat. I am doing a lot of lessons on Patreon right now. Check out the description. That's where I'm going to be uploading all my lessons with tabs to my videos, etc. So feel free to join as a free member. although there's not going to be that much free content under the free section for right now. But there will be a lot of content under the $5 tier, which will be the shredder tier. So check that out. Support the channel by signing up for the $5 tier if you want. There's also going to be a lot of content on there. So check that out. Just thought I'd say that while there's more people on here. And with that being said, I'm going to answer some more questions. Which time is it in your country? It is 8:23. Why is this like a really good time to do live streams? Can you show me your best, bro? Can you show me your best Lydian? I'll just play something in Lydian. All right, let's try like a drone in E-Lydian. Let's try an E-Lydian. It's 10:24 p.m. in Brazil. Oh, wow. Delay settings sound sick. What do you have it set to? I don't know what I have it set to, but I'm using the nunchuck preset, the fire preset on Polychrome DSP nunchuck. But it is good. I agree with the delay settings. That was beautiful. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Lydian's great, man. Lydian's great. Lydian is great. I love that mode. Whoops. Yeah, E-Lydian's cool. We could try it. Let's do A-Lydian. Absolutely insane, haha. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, A-Lydian's a good key. It's a really good key. Andy Wood was talking about you the other day on Patreon. Glad I could finally catch you live. Oh, was he? I love Andy Wood. Andy Wood's amazing, dude. What tier was it on his Patreon? Maybe I'll sign up for it. Yeah, Andy Wood is... I really liked his video he did the other day. Well, I wouldn't say the other day. I've been actually watching that a couple times here and there. I was like, man, that's how Eric Johnson gets that sound with the cable trick. I thought that was awesome, man. That's awesome. I should totally sign up for his Patreon. Which tier is it under though? Can you please let me know? Andy Wood is his Eric Johnson video. That was so cool to watch him play that thing where you were where he was playing over that backing track. I was like, oh, that's so good. Seriously, so good. Combo amp tier. What was he saying? What was he saying? Hopefully it was good. Hopefully it wasn't, nah, I don't think he's that kind of person. Although I don't know him, but I don't think he would do that. He seems like a nice guy, so. I actually really like his playing. I'm a big fan of his stuff. What happened to the yellow Telecaster? Right there, bro. Just how clean you are? Oh, that's cool, man. Andy Wood's a good guy. That's awesome. You mentioned that you use 8s to make playing easier. Do you use regular frets as well? I think you said that the radius on the board was 14. Might do a build myself. Well, I'll tell you something. This is a 14. I use 8s to make it play easier. I don't use regular frets. I use stainless steel jumbo frets. So always jumbo frets. You got to use jumbo frets for my setup. If you want to build like mine, that I'm going to be doing next. I could let you know the specs. But actually you should try 20. Try 20. I got a 20 on that one, and I think that's my favorite setup as far as radius goes. It's like, oh, it's so, just like you get the stretches just so easily. You get a lot of I don't know why I'm making examples of this on a 14-inch radius. Although this is actually probably the best all around. But if you want something that's going to be able to play the easiest, yeah, 20-inch radius, and the lowest action you're going to be able to get on the 20 as well. So go with 20 if you want to be like super insane shred. But if you want overall all around, I probably would recommend 14. But if you want that real just pull off anything, super flat radius, you can't go wrong with the 20. I wish I had more with the 20. So yeah, what do we thank you, making note of that. Are we okay? That's the same person with the talking about spec in the Kiesel. Yeah, I can help you spec it out if you really need, because that does matter. I mean, the radius, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter as much as you think it does, but it does make somewhat of a difference. Like that guitar has a 10. Surprisingly, it's not that, it's like I don't really notice that much of a difference. I can shred almost the best on that guitar and that guitar, but it's just really easier to get stretches, right? So if you're playing scales up here, you get the stretch just so much better on a 20. It's just like you don't gotta work as hard. So yeah, you don't gotta work hard when it comes to that. That's one thing I really appreciate about a 20. But for chords, this is one thing I noticed. The 20, you got to really squeeze those chords in up here if you're playing like... when I get those kind of chords. But if you want to get like real big, insane, like stretchy chords, that is actually a lot easier. So there's pros and cons to all this stuff. But yeah, I think it's probably worth it just to get the 20, even if you do got to kind of do that. But it's not that big of a deal. It really isn't. What's your favorite Paul Gilbert lick? I don't really have a favorite Paul Gilbert lick. I don't know. I used to like this one a lot. It's not in like anything particular. It's just the pattern. I used to love this one a lot. That kind of pattern. But I actually made, do you remember this lesson that he did a long time ago where he did that kind of pattern? He did a lesson on it. I made that Swiberd picking. I made it Swiberdable. That's one of my favorites for Swiberd. I see Straten Marshall even have his own melody. Yeah, I was gonna say though, just letting all the new people who joined that I do have my Patreon up and running with lessons. Join the Patreon for only $5 to get access to new lessons and tabs. I'm just reminding everyone that that is available because I am seeing new people and I'm just getting the word out because I've already uploaded 2 lessons in the last week on Patreon. It's only $5 a month, and I'm actually really consistent on there. So I'm just doing that because so many people are asking about lessons and stuff, and that's where all lesson material is going to be from now on for at least the time being. I'm going to be uploading at least 1 to 2 lessons per week for my videos. I've been tabbing out all my videos, and I'm sticking tabs up on there. And I'm going to actually try to tab out everything after I film the video or whatever. I'm going to transcribe it and then at minimum try to just upload the tab for all shorts, reels, etc. on there for only $5 a month. That's the goal as of right now, to keep a library of all the tabs for my videos and ideas. And I'm even going to do like one-off lessons on there too, where I just like have like, oh, work on this technique and do lectures that are going to be potentially a half-hour long, you know what I mean? Live streams there. So sign up for that tier for only $5 a month. I really think that it's really cheap and you're going to get a lot of content out of it. So consider subscribing there for only $5. I mean, there's going to be a lot of content. Link is in the bio, or not in the bio, that's on Instagram. Link is in the description of this live stream. Patreon.com/StratenMarshall. What level should I be at for these lessons? To be honest, I don't think it really matters. I think if you, at minimum, if you want to just look at the videos and just learn from it, I mean, I don't think it's that big of an investment. It's only $5. It's very affordable, so there's definitely going to be worth it for $5. I mean, in my opinion. I mean, you may not think $5 a month is worth it for for guitar lessons that are with transcriptions, but I know a lot of people on there already have really liked it. And even if I did 1 lesson a month on there, I think $5 a month would be worth it. If you like the way I play and you want an in-depth look into my playing, yeah, I think that would be worth it for most people for $5. I mean, that's just my opinion, though. Just subscribe to Patreon. Looking forward to it. Oh, I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Yeah, we're going to be having a lot of fun on Patreon. I'm going to be potentially doing live streams on there, I'm thinking. There's going to be a lot of stuff on this tier. And I don't even know how long I'm going to be doing lessons at that $5 tier. So if you sign up at this point, you can keep your membership at that tier. And because I'm thinking about raising the prices after, if I start really uploading more, and then you can still stay on that tier, and you can, that tier will always exist. So if you want to get to it before the price raises, because I don't know how long I'm going to want to keep that tier for $5. I'm going to be honest, because that's really cheap, in my opinion, for the value I'm going to be putting on there. And you can keep that tier for that price if you sign up. I mean, I don't think I'm planning on changing it in the near future, but you never know. Is that a Goto 510T bridge? I don't know if it's 510T, but I know it's Goto 510 something. But it could be T. It's just the standard Goto, the good stuff, But yeah, really looking forward to uploading a new lesson on there soon. I've already got something transcribed that I'm going to be uploading soon. So I'm going to hopefully keep the consistent 2 lessons per week on there for now. Hopefully, if not 1 lesson per week will be minimum, and then 2 I'm going to try to maintain. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. But even if I didn't post lessons and I just posted the tab, I think that's still pretty cheap. $5 for the amount of time it takes to transcribe. I mean, I think that's pretty reasonable, in my opinion. Nice, yeah. I like these bridges because they're just really. I think they're just good for overall guitar playing. You know what I mean? I don't think that they're not. They don't get in your way. Because there's some bridges I really dislike that really get in your way, and this one does not do that. It's probably the most comfortable bridge aside from the Kiesel bridge, I would say, or the Hip Shop Kiesel trem. I think aside from that, I would say that's the most comfortable bridge, because I don't like Floyd Rose. I think Floyd Roses are very uncomfortable for my picking style. And I think you can avoid that with. You can avoid that with this. It's very comfortable. Very, very comfortable. Wow, I've already been going on for 2 hours almost. Dang. That's insane, man. But with that being said, I really appreciate you guys joining the live today. Play one more lick. And I'm going to be heading out. Thank you to everyone who joined. Left hand, or is the camera flipped? The camera's flipped, dude. I am right-handed at guitar. But I appreciate everyone joining today's live. I'm going to be heading out now, and be on the lookout for new content soon. All right, take care, everybody. Thanks for joining. Bye.